Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Running pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
Let it get you down, please. Be happy. It's a good time of the year. There is still a slight opportunity there.
There you go.
You get a chance to listen to a former All-Pro talk about it. Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show. Merry Christmas to everybody. Cam, Kool-Aid, Braylon. Hope you had a good weekend. Well, I'll tell you what up, though. You don't have your victory sunglasses on today, and there's a reason for that. Not because it's cloudy and gray outside. That's for damn sure.
Definitely great skies, but overall, with the exception of the Lions game, I did have a really good weekend.
Good.
So, happy with that. But yeah, man, tough day. I feel bad for the people in the chat. I was not the.
Where'd you watch the game? Did you watch it with friends, and what were they saying?
I watched it with my stepdad, mom.
Okay.
Watched with my brother, my sister, and then niece, Rain. Like from the start of the game, I think for me, Cam Hayward. You get that first drive, you see what it looked like for them defensively. Cam Hayward, he kind of pushed back the clock. He looked like he did early on in his prime. You see that first drive, I had the same feeling in my stomach, kind of like the Washington Commanders playoff game.
Really?
First drive. Lions go on the field first. They get it out. You're expecting, all right, here we go. We'll get this thing rocking and rolling, and it was a 3-and-out. And then that kind of set the tone for what Washington would be able to do defensively for the Lions. I felt the same way yesterday. Legitimately, first snap, you see what it is. Cameron Hayward gets the rush, then the stop on the next play. It just felt like they're going to mess around and let Pittsburgh stay around long enough. That's just what it felt like, even on that first possession for the Lions.
Was there ever a point in the game that you guys felt like, you know what, I think the Lions are going to win this game? Because there was for me. Before they got the ball back the final time, I said to everybody we were watching with, I said, they're going to win this game, right? The Lions are going to win this game. They're going to go down the field. They're going to score a touchdown. I truly believe that. And, I thought they did.
Twice.
Well, the second one I didn't think. I thought that was forward progress, Kool-Aid. That's just me. I thought it was forward progress. Him being able to if they blew the whistle there was no penalty, where are they marking the football?
Right.
Okay?
I almost wish they didn't give him the touchdown on the second one. That whole, it was a touchdown, but there's no time or ability to review. Bro, get out of here.
Yeah, there was a touchdown, but screw you.
Yeah.
It doesn't count. I'm getting the hell out of here. But I was convinced. I really was. You guys obviously maybe felt a little differently, but I really thought they were going to go down and win it. No? Never felt that way. Not once.
When it got to the point where it's halftime and you legitimately see that the Steelers got down, they got the 3 right before the half, they tie it up, and now it's 10-10 and the Steelers get the ball back. It's one of those things where I'm not looking at it through the lens of who's the better team. I still feel like the Lions are a better team than the Pittsburgh Steelers. They weren't yesterday. And maybe that's our fault. We need to stop thinking that way. But I thought the Lions were a better team than the Pittsburgh Steelers going into the game. But when you get to halftime, and now it's 10-10, you've exactly allowed what Ben Roethlisberger, Aaron would like it to be. It's a close game. The defenses hold you into contempt. So the defense is going to feel good about themselves at halftime. Then you just start to look into the games they've played in the past. You start to look at what the Rams game was in the second half. You look at what the Giants game was in that third quarter and fourth quarter. You look at what these losses that they've accumulated over the past 6 weeks, and I look at it, and I couldn't ignore it. So as opposed to say, the Lions are going to win this game, they'll come back, I chose to look at the information that I've already been given in terms of not being able to get pressures, in terms of not being able to put points up on the third. And I say, no, I don't think the Lions have enough juice.
Okay.
I think it's one of those things where we're asking each week that they do something that this season, unfortunately, they haven't done.
I appreciate that. Kool-Aid, did you think they were coming back? Well, what am I? Who am I talking?
I thought that they
Braylon
were
looks at
going
me.
to have the
Of
opportunity.
course, Kool-Aid thought they were coming
Yeah,
back.
that
For
last
crying out loud.
drive.
What am I thinking?
I don't know if Kool-Aid is the most optimistic person I know,
He's
or
pretty
if
damn close.
or if he's the most optimistic as it relates to Detroit sports teams.
Oh, that's a good point. Or not just optimistic, sometimes the most unrealistic at times.
With a big heart.
With a huge heart.
With a big heart.
The largest heart of anybody in this whole
Appreciate
building. So did you think they were coming back?
I did think that they were going to be able to come back, but I was kind of devastated, and I put it in the group chat that they allowed two back-to-back drives, 45-yard touchdowns.
Yeah, the Jalen Warren.
It just kind of took my heart out of me. So it was just like, did I believe they could? I did. But the belief that I've had in the past, it just wasn't there, to be honest with you.
230 yards allowed on the ground is astonishing to me.
That
By the second worst rushing team in the league this year.
Yeah.
That's
By the second worst rushing team in the league this year.
Talk about
What was more startling? The fact that you allowed 230 or that you gained 15?
They're both.
No, honestly. I mean, both of them, it's like an
they are
electroid
equally
up
gasping, like gas.
Yeah.
Shock
It
and
takes
awe.
your breath away. What was more stunning to you?
If I told you neither, would it answer how we feel about the season thus far?
Yeah, that would be a defining moment
neither.
from you. So the 15 for me, the 230, sometimes, what do we always say? Could be, guy could break off two big runs and you're halfway
right.
there, right? Bon Jovi song. But it's the 15 with, you just dropped your sweet looking coat. There's 15 yards when you have those two backs. Like earlier this year, I threw up in my mouth when people said Jahmyr Gibbs is better than Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders, somebody said to me this morning on my show, he doesn't, there's no way, I mean, Barry Sanders, he wouldn't be able to get that many yards. Barry Sanders ran behind an offensive line that at times was makeshift. Nothing against Kevin Glover or Lomas Brown. The latter should be in the Hall of Fame. But he would find a way. They weren't finding a way yesterday. So the 15 yards for me was more stunning than anything else. Anybody else? Kool-Aid. Was it 15 or 230?
I gotta say it was the 15. I gotta say the 15.
Okay, because
The 15.
Braylon says neither one's stunning to him. I get that.
Jahmyr Gibbs supposed to be a star.
Well, you just looking at the run side, let's look at the rushing yard side of things, the 15 yard. You haven't been able to run the ball when you've had all 5 of your offensive starters for this particular year. Yet you haven't looked really good in the run game when you've had 5 starters. I've seen games where Jahmyr has only had a certain amount of yards, and Montgomery as well. Now times that by the fact that you're down to your third center, you're down to your third guard, you're down to all this flip-flopping. Like everybody's flip-flopping and switching positions. You're here, you go here. Well, how about this game? You go over there. I even heard that this guy was going to play here. So I think when you mix and match an offensive line down the stretch like this, where you really have to have chemistry at that position. We've seen in the past what chemistry looked like out of that position and what consistency, and it wasn't this year. When you mix all that together, like that's what a total looks like in week 16 when you're on your third center, you're on your third, this, that, and the third, and you're flip-flopping. They couldn't run the ball with their starters.
Do you mind if I push back on that a little
Go ahead,
bit?
please.
Okay. David Montgomery had 151 yards against Baltimore.
Yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs had 219 yards against the Giants. Worst run defense in the National Football League at the time. 142 against Washington. Not a very good team.
Yeah.
Understood. Okay. 136 against Tampa. Missing guys like you were talking about, the build up to the week. Combined, the two of them had rushed for some decent yardage. But to your point, we haven't seen it where it's, okay, here's 4, here's 5, here's 6, here's 4, here's 18. We haven't seen that nearly enough. And it sure as hell didn't come from the line this year like it did from the line a year ago. So I'm with you on that. There have been individual success stories. Bless you, Kool-Aid. You look at David Montgomery. David Montgomery had the 151 against Baltimore. Anybody else? I mean, the highest he's rushed for is like 70 yards.
And that was on 6 carries, by the way. So that's him.
Yeah.
I mean, not taking away because it was hella blocking up front. We showed that clip on Braylon's breakdown, and J-Mo comes in, clears it out for him, and he gets the 40-yard run. But that's 6 carries.
Yeah.
Like it's 6 carries. Oh, you're absolutely right. But we also talked about Jahmyr Gibbs being special. A lot of those spaces, like no other running back could get through them, including Dave Montgomery, which is maybe why he hasn't been able to run the ball as much. Like Jahmyr's special. and he does special things. He can hit the one little crease and turn into Sonic, and he's gone, and you never knew. But he's not playing. Well, he wasn't playing against Terrell Austin. Terrell Austin, who was a DB coach when I was at Michigan, I know him well. He's been a hell of a defensive coordinator. He's been a hell of a defensive coach.
Was a DC at Detroit.
100%.
Good guy.
100%. Very long time. You mix that with the Steelers defense that is getting better and better. They've gotten healthy. The Steelers defense is healthy fully. The secondary, the linebacking core, and the defensive line minus T.J. Watt. That is, Cameron Hayward was amazing up front, and he was very stout in that front.
He was great.
And he took on 2 individuals, and once they knew they couldn't run, that's why you only see that there was only a total of, 13 carries?
The thing that bothered me as much as anything else is Detroit's inability to get outside. Yeah. The Steelers played without Nick Herbig and without T.J. Watt.
Yeah.
And they still sacked Jared Goff twice and still limited the Lions to that type of rushing performance. That should scare everybody.
Because they're coming up the middle. One, because the offensive interior has been the same for the second half of the season in the interiors where they're very vulnerable. And then 2, with no tight end play per se, no real tight end play, no threat, missing Sam Laporta, now you can just double cover both receivers. And that's what they did. They put double coverage brackets on J-Mo, double coverage brackets on Amon-Ra St. Brown. We're not worried about anybody else because you can't run. They never were able to run them up out of that defense. So they were allowed to let that defense linger the whole game. And it bothered and it hindered the whole game. Like a lot of those drops and those mishaps that happen with the wide receivers for the Lions, that's just frustration.
Mm-hmm.
That's frustration of that defense they saw, which was a menacing, just annoyance and a frustration, having one guy under, one guy over the top because no run game.
There's some really good stuff in the chat that we're going to get to. We're going to get to it all day long here on the Braylon Edwards Show. Saturday was interesting. Friday night was interesting, wasn't it? With Oklahoma and
good
Alabama.
Call. Good call by you. One thing about this.
Well, that's a good call, but I also picked Detroit over the Steelers. I said they were going to run roughshod over them, so there's a bad call. So let's even things out. I appreciate you helping me there. But
I thought Oklahoma 17. No, I was excited. I was like, I told you. But that Alabama team, in a different way, looked like the Alabama of old. Didn't look like exactly what Nick Saban was. That won't happen again in terms of what those teams were overstacked at every position. But it looked faster. It looked more physical. Ty Simpson, once he got into the game, back into a flow, he looked like a different quarterback.
Defense looked fast.
They look.
So we'll get into that on Saturday. You watched the game Saturday, right?
You know what I'm saying? I watched it at a certain establishment. You know what I'm saying? It's for adults.
A certain an adult establishment.
Yeah, it's a gentleman's club.
We're not talking about a dispensary here. We're talking about a gentleman's club. Okay, that's interesting. With some of your buddies, I assume?
I did. With some of the homies.
And how was that? Were you able to concentrate on the football game? Let's put it that way. Ish.
I was able to concentrate. No, but side note, I'm glad you brought that up. Yes, I was able to concentrate while enjoying some light entertainment or heavy, depending on your description of that. But we have fans in all genres. We have fans in all areas because one individual came up to me and said, I watch the show all the time after she had done her thing, if you will. So to let you know.
When's the last time you went to a strip joint?
I go like once, twice a year. My boy Max.
Okay. Max, M-A-X, not M-A-T-T. Yeah, Max. Haven't been to one in years. Decades. He
maximized every Saturday, I tell you that. But yeah, it's not my thing, my cup of tea. But I'll go from time to time.
Okay.
Have fun with the homies. Watch a game. In the background, of course.
Yeah, that would be a very interesting experiment, wouldn't it? A football fanatic trying to watch the game at a strip club.
Now,
it's hard to do.
I will say this though.
Is that hard to do? Am I wrong there?
It is.
No pun intended. I'm just wondering. That could be very challenging.
Now you're getting dirty.
That could be very difficult.
I will say this though. I couldn't come from the establishment and that having been the only time that I watched the game and then come out here and break it down. Like, I had to go back home and watch it again. I miss some plays, miss some gaps, miss some sequences. It's like, oh, wait, how did we get here? Like, wait, last time I looked, we're in the – no, it's not. But it was definitely a good reset from time to time. I think it's good to have fellas night, day. We were out in the daytime, so.
That football hit the pole. I mean, hit the upright. That's what you meant.
Doink.
Kool-Aid last time went to such establishment. You can plead the fifth if you want.
Yeah, plead the fifth.
Okay. Cam, don't even try to go there Saturday.
Shout out to Braylon.
Come on.
I really don't remember the last time I've been to one. I do remember going to one in Nashville, though. That was BYOB.
It was
BYOB.
Wait a minute. Bring your own beer, bring your own babe, bring your own what?
Bring your own booze, yep.
Wait, bring your what?
Bring your own booze.
Your own booze.
In
Okay, I thought I
Nashville,
heard boobs. I was like,
Were
wait,
they
what?
dancing on
Oh, I
picnic
gotta bring
tables?
your own
Last
girl.
time.
So the last time I did go to a
Were they
men's
country
club
things?
was
Oh,
in
hold on.
Dallas.
You're not getting off that. Hold on one second.
I'm trying to get into
Were
the
they
specifics.
dancing on picnic tables? What kind of establishment says BYOB? I've never heard of that.
You'd
It's
be
Nash
surprised. I can take you to
Vegas.
some in Detroit.
I'm
Yeah.
good.
Nash Vegas?
good.
That's how Nash Vegas rolls.
They say bring your own beer or
That's-
bring your own booze.
And they equipped us with 5-gallon buckets with ice.
That's love right there. But see, you know what though? But that's smart.
Southern
Because when you do
hospitality.
it that way, you tend to have more respect for the establishment. It's like, you know what? They were so kind to us. Let's not tear their establishment up.
Listen to Braylon being the businessman. Here's the
Hey,
idea.
I'm
We're
just
going to give them
saying.
free buckets of ice.
100%.
But as long as you bring your 6-pack of beer, we're good with that. That's fantastic.
That bucket of ice is gonna be $30 though. The bucket gonna be 30. Just to let you know that. But it keeps the peace.
It does, I guess. It keeps
If
something
you let me
else.
bring my own booze in, then you can charge me 30 for ice. Because I'm not even gonna pay attention that the ice costs that much. Because I'm gonna feel like, oh man, I got my own. Wait,
You can spend all your money
On
elsewhere.
ice.
Yeah, on ice.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, we're gonna deviate from that, and we're gonna dive back into the
That's
Lions
exactly where
situation.
he's at.
Yeah, that's
He's at
exactly
a
it. Yep, we're gonna dive back into the Lions and the frustrations a lot of you feel. We see it on the chat, and we want all your kind of feedback as much as you can give us all afternoon long. We're looking forward to the conversation. We really are. Looking forward to the debate as well. That's what we're going to have here on the Braylon Edwards Show. Here on Woodward Sports right after this from Ben Johnson and Art and Jake's Sports Bar and Grill.
I tell you what, I wish Ben Johnson was out there last night.
You know
The
what?
Lions needed a little
One,
bit
two,
more
three,
fight
four,
to
field.
get
They
the
needed
win
more
done.
protection is what they needed.
100%, and Ben Johnson can do it for. Let him fight for you and protect you. If you have anything that goes on, we got the ad going on. What's up? There we go. He is the fighter. Let him fight for you. Ben Johnson Law. They want all the smoke. Settlement or verdict, it does not matter. Whatever case you have, make him the first call. You make him the first call. He and his group will represent you. And like I said, they will get you the results that you're looking for. And you find them at benfights.com.
Need better results? Well, the best results you can possibly get at a place you want to watch all the sporting events is Art and Jake's Sports Bar and Grill. 6 locations throughout the state of Michigan, 1 in Georgia, actually. Walk in and it's got wall-to-wall coverage of all the sporting events that matter most to you. So tonight you can go in, you can watch the Pistons late and the football game early because there's 80 TV sets for you to be watching whatever it is that might be interesting to you. They've also got 22 draft beers on tap. They've got a menu stacked with really good food that includes their signature fairway burgers. And don't forget about their specials. One of the specials, Monday night. That's right, tonight during Monday Night Football, it is Rib Night at Art and Jake's Sports Bar and Grill. Check it out today.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports. The Super Bowl parade in Detroit will be one for the record books. Detroit just does it different. Woodward Sports, your official Super Bowl or Bust Lions network.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new face, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Hunting season is almost here, Detroit, and your Lions are on the prowl. Make sure you're locked into Woodward Sports for all the Dan Campbell reactions, Jared Goff touchdowns, Amon-Ra first downs, Penny pancakes, Kirby picks, Gibbs big plays, and of course, Jack Fox's leg. Stay locked in on all your Lions coverage right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Fitness is essential. With over 50 metropolitan Detroit locations, it's the gym for you. But it's not just everywhere. It's a gym that's squeaky clean, and then there's no judgment. That's what they pride themselves on at PF. No judgment. Planet Fitness is essential. It's essential. We are all strong on this planet, and that planet is Planet Fitness. Gyms are squeaky clean, like I said. And for now, come down to Planet Fitness to start your journey with us.
50 Metro Detroit locations. You're going to run into one
2,700
worldwide. That's incredible. You know what else is incredible? Really good tasting Sun Cruiser vodka iced tea. Real vodka, real iced tea, smooth, crisp, 100 calories and 4.5% alcohol. It is perfect for tailgates. Maybe you're going to Minnesota. It's perfect for couch gates. You're definitely watching the game against Minnesota or wherever you plan on going to watch your next big event. Take Sun Cruiser vodka iced tea with you, but please take it with you and be responsible.
And we bet.
Can I just say this thing? I think there are certain athletes and certain teams that we're not going to back down from. All right? We are all guilty of it. I'm guilty of it with certain players like Wayne Gretzky, Sidney Crosby, Sergei Fedorov, Alan Trammell, okay? Calvin Johnson, Matthew Stafford, whatever, okay? Barry Sanders. We're all guilty of it. Those who support Jared Goff, I give you a ton of credit because I like him too. Okay, this is not a knock by any stretch on Jared Goff. I'll take him to quarterback my team. Wouldn't take him over a lot of other quarterbacks, but I think he's a top 10 quarterback. There's nothing wrong with saying that. We need to, when you talk about it though, you do need to put everything in perspective, please. He does possess 3 guys on his team, receiving-wise, who are in the top 15 to 16 in yards after catch. Jahmyr Gibbs in yards after catch is number 4 in the National Football League. Amon-Ra St. Brown, who yards after catch is number 9 in the National Football League. And Jamison Williams, who yards after catch is number 16. I apologize. So top 16 in the National Football League.
And yards per catch, he's number 1.
Okay. So that's all I'm saying. I think everything needs to be put in perspective when it comes to certain statistics.
Yeah, no, I agree. And look, at the end of the day, Jared Goff, it is what it is. Like, he's this taboo conversation you have whenever you bring his name up. You can say the Lions had a bad game, but don't say Jared Goff had a bad game. Yesterday wasn't a terrible game for him. It was a terrible game all around, but I do get tired of the conversation. Yesterday he had 190 yards and yards after catch. Like, when he has 300 or 320, like, let that sink in as well. A lot of those is just dropping the ball off to Jahmyr Gibbs, who's electric. Jamison Williams, the same thing. A lot of crossing routes by Amon-Ra St. Brown. Yeah, it's okay if your quarterback has a bad day.
Yeah, he's not the worst of their problems. That's not what you and I are saying.
That's not what I
They
am
have
saying at
so
all.
many other things that they need to address.
Can't run the ball. You can't protect.
Right.
You know, these things, and then you're second guessing yourself in a lot of offensive situations. So, not blaming that on Jared Goff at all.
Yeah, we're not. All I ask is that people just, keep it in perspective. That's all. I mean, here's a guy who is, and those who defend him would say, look, he's the 10th most sacked quarterback in the National Football League, and that's fair. It's true. I mean, there are other guys who have been sacked more: Justin Herbert, Drake May, and their teams find a way. And I'm not saying it's all on him to find a way. The defense is a problem. The offensive line's a serious issue. There's no question. The secondary has some major bumps in it as well. So all those things, I just want to put that in perspective. This is not an argument about Jared Goff. He was not their issue yesterday by any stretch. Their biggest issue is elsewhere, but I do want that made known. I think it's important to put that in perspective.
And also, I think a fair and an easy way to do this is if you take any quarterback in the league, how many quarterbacks could have won that game for the Detroit Lions yesterday, not named Jared Goff? And I can't come up with more than about 2.
Right.
2 to 3. So that's not a Jared Goff issue yesterday.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So you said something earlier that made me think here. You said something about the Lions. You thought the Lions are the better team. And it sounds like something I would say, to be honest with you. And then I'd have to turn around and think to myself, why? They're 8-7. What gives us the right or the mindset to think that they're a better team? By the way, I felt the same way.
Yeah.
I turned it off and I said, I still think Detroit's the better team. I think Detroit's the better team against Minnesota.
Yeah.
I thought they were the better team against Kansas City, even though their offense couldn't do diddly squat, right? I'm looking at it from a talent standpoint. I always think of you say you've got X amount of guys who are in the top 10 at their position. Some you'd say the top 5. You could argue they're the best, when healthy, safety duo in the National Football League. They got one of the best linebackers in football, one of the best pass rushers in football, right tackle, tailback, wide receiver, quarterback, all that. Why do we think that the Lions are the better team over any of the teams they've lost to?
Yeah, I don't think that they're a better team over majority of the teams that they've lost to or this season. But in this particular game, they're a better team than the Pittsburgh Steelers. They weren't better yesterday, and they haven't been playing better, and that's why they got beat. But that team, as bad as the Lions played yesterday, Isaac Tesla dropped a touchdown that would have been the game. There's a penalty at the end that would have been the game.
Mm-hmm.
There's another penalty at the end that would have been the game. How many of the opportunities did they have? And when they had opportunities to close the door, so as bad as they were as a football team, they still were right there. As bad as they played, they still had themselves in position and pretty much almost won the game. 'Cause I know everybody jumped up when Isaac Tesla had the ball in their hand, or Amon-Ra St. Brown either time. So as bad as they played yesterday, they still could have won that game. I think they have better players on their team, so I think that they are a better team than what the Steelers were. But the Steelers are better than them right now. They're playing better, and they didn't make the mistakes that the Lions made, and they capitalized on all the mistakes that the Lions made yesterday. That team that the Lions lost to, like, they're going to the playoffs. They're going to win their division, right? Their own fan base doesn't believe that they're going to do diddly squat in the playoffs. So they're not a good team that you lost to. So this isn't the team that I think is going to the second round of the playoffs. I don't think they're that good. The Lions are better, but you can't, when you don't have what you had last year in terms of an offense, of line that is consistent, that allows you to open up the run game, which allows you to open up the passing game and be consistent and play, comparable football. Some defense, some offense, some defense, some offense, and offense that can bail you out. The margins have become smaller and smaller and smaller. So when you're dropping passes on fourth down, and when you're not catching the touchdowns, when you're shooting yourself in the foot with the self-inflicted negatives, the turnovers, or the penalties in prime time, in real time, you can't recover like you once were. And that was the issue yesterday. The margins have become smaller.
It's crazy.
So you can't. You don't have this. It's kind of like watching the Rams to a certain extent. Like watching the Rams. That's what the Lions have been. Even though the Rams lost their last game in Seattle, it was a hell of a game by the Seahawks. But when we're watching the Seattle play against us, their defense wasn't necessarily that great that day. They showed up when they needed to.
The Rams, you mean
but
when
the
Rams play?
What I'm saying, but
You're
like
right.
when we played the Rams, but what was their offense doing? Responding. When the defense BS's, we got you back. We'll score a touchdown here, or we'll get it down on the 9 minutes. Like, that's what they used to look like last year. This year, because of the offensive line, because of some other things.
I said the same thing Saturday night while watching the Bears and the Packers.
They can run the hell out of the ball, and they play defense in the right spot.
Yeah.
Complimentary football.
Well, here's the thing. I said that against Chicago. I'm watching this game with some friends. So we had a euchre party, and I said, you know what? I still think Detroit's better than Chicago. And by the end of that night, I'm like, what the hell did I just say?
Yeah.
And Chicago overcame 10 penalties. They had 10 penalties in that game, and they still found a way to win. Unbelievable throw, even better catch, right, by DJ Moore. So I got to give him a ton of credit, but it is kind of interesting. Did you bring up the Tesla?
I'm glad you said that about. I'm glad you said that about the Chicago Bears. And why did I say that? Because a lot of Lions fans before the game said we're better than the Bears. We'll beat the Bears. I'm like, you don't realize what the Bears are doing in the second half of games. Like Ben Johnson and Taylor and Caleb, their relationship gets stronger in the second half. And they had an onside kick, and you can call it lucky. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity, because after they got that, they went down there and scored. And in overtime, the defense stopped the Green Bay Packers, and then they went down there and scored again. So, But, they can run the ball in tight spots. He trusts Caleb Williams enough, and he has red light, green light. On this play, this is what you can do. This is what you can't do. So, and they play defense. They get the turnovers, and they get the stops in crucial times. That's what they've been this season as a whole with the Bears. I know it sucks, but it's the truth.
It is the truth. It's the harsh reality. I'm sorry. I know we don't want to hear the locker room speeches by Ben Johnson. We sure as hell don't want him taking off his shirt, but damn, He's in the conversation for Coach of the Year. Him, Mike Vrabel are in the conversation for Coach of the Year, I guess.
And don't forget Kyle Shanahan, because we like to complain about injuries and injury this and injury that and injury this. Kyle Shanahan has legitimately put his team in position to be the number 1 seed in the
100.
NFL.
Right.
But getting back to Chicago Bears.
Hell, Pittsburgh lost both their tackles.
100%.
And they
like
still beat
everybody's
Detroit.
got injuries.
Yeah, everybody does.
Like Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameer Gibbs, J-Mo, Dave Montgomery, Jared Goff, they're not hurt. Neither is Penei Sewell.
Yeah.
And on the opposite side, neither is Jack Campbell or Aiden Hutchinson.
Mike McDonald's had injuries for Seattle.
Yeah.
I think he's in the conversation for Coach of the Year. But go ahead. Yep.
And but just also too, when you're watching the Chicago Bears, it looks eerily similar because they understand the importance of the run game, the offensive line. I don't even know how to describe it, but he and Sean McVay are the best at being a passing team that intentionally focuses on the run. Because in the second half, Monange and DeAndre Swift, they get stronger and stronger and stronger, and they stay with the run. They don't abandon the run. They find ways to run, and eventually, here's DJ Moore. Here's Cole Kmet. Here's Colston Loveland. Like Roma Dunze hasn't played in like 2.5, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Luther Burden didn't play last.
That's right.
He didn't play as well.
He didn't play, and they still got it done. I mean, you got to give them credit, man.
Yeah.
I know. Earlier this year when Detroit reeled off 4 straight wins. Oh, how much do we miss Ben Johnson now? Well, guess what? Got to eat some crow, and I'm willing to do it. By the way, Liam Cohen is the other name that we should probably bring in there since Jacksonville just went in and snapped Denver's 11-game home winning streak, and they've got a chance to be the number 1 seed in the West or in the AFC. The number 1 seed, if they win out and get some help, that's an unbelievable turnaround for what Jacksonville has done, especially the way Trevor Lawrence has taken care of the ball. You mentioned Isaac Tesla. Did you think that was an offensive pass interference when Amon-Ra St. Brown scored and they had to bring it back? You're a wide receiver. It looked like he got shoved in. That's not me. That's Dan Orlovsky on ESPN earlier today. That's all.
Yeah, 100%. It looks like Isaac Tesla got shoved into him. I think the one thing is you don't necessarily see him try to show that he's running a route or catch a pass. Maybe that in some way, fashion, or form takes away from it. But I don't know. It's like one of those things where is it a call? Because
it can go either way, you're saying?
Because also, too, the refs called that same call-ish on the Steelers early on in the game on Darnell Washington, where he comes in, he makes the way, and DK Metcalf catches the touchdown. Yeah. So if that's not called early on, is this one called? Is this like a tick for tack?
Yeah.
Like what we called on the Steelers, we have to call it on the Lions in this particular one. I don't necessarily know if it was enough to, call the play, but I don't want the Lions fans to be waiting for calls.
Yes, I agree. You're not, but there are certain games that kind of.
I feel like, but every time we lose, like, here's Lions fans or here's the majority. Like, hey,
I'm
what
not saying
about
it's
this
the
call?
reason. I'm just asking your opinion. I was wondering if
I think that one was more maybe not than the last one. The last one was offensive pass interference. I mean, he pushed off.
Oh, for sure.
Like
I didn't doubt that one bit.
So yeah, you didn't necessarily have to call the one on Tesla. I don't think you had to call that one. The one with Darnell Washington, the Steelers, you had to call into it because he leveled DJ Reed.
Somebody in the chat said, Shep, would the Bears have won if Jordan Love were still around? Malik Willis came in and completed 9 of 11 passes for about 120 yards and a touchdown. Okay, did pretty well. I would guess I would turn around and ask you this. Would Chicago have won more easily if they had Burden and Odunze? No, it's different because I know it's a different position.
No. Are these the questions we want to ask? Okay, well, does Green Bay win if they have, what's his name? We have Jordan Love and Micah Parsons.
Right.
Like, do they beat the Broncos? Do they even finish that game? That's what I'm saying. Let's not play that game.
Yeah,
let's not play the if game.
I'm going based on what a team did to another team, and just so we're clear, when they played at Lambeau a few weeks ago, Chicago was right there with them, and some argued might have been the better team 100%. That day, but just didn't win it. So you thought the Tesla was kind of up in the air, but Amon-Ra St. Brown for sure was offensive PI. He definitely pushed off. Yeah, I would agree with that for sure. Where was the turning point in your mind in the game yesterday? What do you think the turning point was? Because I thought when Detroit looked like they grabbed, I'll use the phrase, momentum, and then suddenly, right, 40-plus yards. I thought that was it. Yeah, I thought that was it right there. We were like, this team doesn't have a response. And the thing that bothers us as Lions fans, I think, more than anything else, is the fact that you've got so many guys who look like they are rookies or unfamiliar or the game is too fast, or the game is too big for them. Got guys getting caught up in a wash, guys not having the right reads defensively. It looks like they're kind of sloppy and unprepared.
I was legitimately going to say the reverse, where I was going to say it's not clean.
Right.
Like, it's not clean. Like, we were legitimately watching this fan. We were watching this now 16 weeks, like trying to look for that fluidity, trying to look for that rhythm, that consistency where you're like, oh, okay, this is a little groove. It's never been that. It's 1 game on, 1 game off, 2 games on, 2 games off. Like, you just haven't found that rhythm. That play you thought, Khalif Raymond goes down, he scores a touchdown, here it is, this is the turning point, okay, we got this. And then they run for another 45-yard touchdown with Jaylen Warren. They finish 230 yards on the ground. Like, you can't win.
Yeah.
And you just you cannot allow it. And notice they were stretching it to the same side and they were stretching it on the outside. They stretched it on the outside. They wouldn't run in the interior where you got the big fellas. They stretched it to the outside and we were never able to adjust. See, the coordinator position, I don't want to bring it back to that because we're already in the season. It's over. But we're just having conversations looking like we're not making the playoffs. You're starting to analyze the whole season. One thing that Aaron Glenn was really good at is those same adjustments that we're giving other coaches credit for, and being able to stop the Lions in the second half or being able to shut them down in the third quarter. That's what Aaron Glenn was able to do. That's a lot of things he was able to do. It's like, all right, they keep running this play, this stretch zone run. Like, how can we operate in this space? All right, cool, time out. This is what we're going to do. We're going to move some things around. Like they kept running the same thing, and we didn't have that on the offensive side of the ball. It was just he always knew when to use the run and when to put the Lions in situations. It wasn't about trick plays or special plays. Right. It was just when they were called. Mm-hmm. That's what it was. Dan Campbell's called some trick plays this year that'll work. Yeah. Johnny Mo set up some trick plays. A couple of them worked and a bunch didn't. But it was there. It was not about trick play. It's not about the creative, and it's just when to call it.
You know what it is for me? It's a feel for the game. And I know that seems like to some maybe a little bit of a cop-out and a little bit too deep, but it's a feel for I'm going to throw on first down when you don't expect it, or I'm going to throw on a down that really calls for a run or vice versa.
Yeah, that's how the Steelers beat you, is because legitimately the only way they could have beat you was stay ahead of the sticks. I know I say that, but now I have the data. They were averaging 6.8 yards on first down. The Steelers yesterday.
That's a scary statistic.
Which is never going to happen again for them.
Yeah.
But they were 6.8. They were 6.8 3 weeks ago. They were 6 in the last 3 weeks, they were 6.8, 6.3, 6.4. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, they were 6.4, which is still scary.
With backup offensive linemen.
With backup everywhere for the most part.
Kool-Aid, you got somebody in the chat that you want to make sure we take note of, and any super chats early on here.
Oh, yep. You already know the people are definitely supporting. Shout out to Michael Wary for sending a couple $2 super chats. One, he says, don't ban me, LOL, with a $2 super chat. And then QB Michael, it's QB Michael in the chat, the number one crown today. Says, Ohio State Buckeyes, Gus Johnson, LOL. Freddie Felt with a $2 super chat, too. He says, my last trip was John John's 20 years ago.
Hey.
Rest in peace, JJ.
Okay.
Wait, that wasn't in Canada. No, I was thinking Jason's. Jason's was in Canada.
Look at Shep knowing all the names. Look at Shep over there knowing all the names. No, I appreciate that. Somebody said Ohio State. All right, we'll see.
But I think you guys are cooking on when you're talking about the coordinators. I think it's fair to deep dive into the coordinator conversation.
We know one coordinator is getting replaced.
What, 100%?
Yeah. Okay, we know that.
Yeah,
that's not even a question. I don't even know if he stays on staff, but we know his play calling duties. And again, yesterday showed an example of why he should be on the sidelines. To me, I think it's malpractice. It's coaching malpractice.
But with this supposing to be like Dan Campbell's foundation, does it shock anybody how bad the running game has looked? Because I never remember it getting shut down this bad ever with Ben
yesterday
Johnson.
Stunned me.
That shocked me. I'm just being for real.
Mm-hmm.
Bray
says no.
Like, I told y'all.
It didn't shock me, and this goes to a bigger conversation. The bigger conversation is from final of the season last year, you lose to the Washington Commanders downtown, Ford Field. From then to trade deadline, Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes are connected at the hip. Rightfully so, and we respect that. The Holy Trinity, all three working in unison. Yeah. Those two individuals looked at this team from then to now and said it's enough. They looked at the team from last year when you lost to the trade deadline and said, Kevin Zeitler leaving, which you lowballed him, but that's neither here nor there. Kevin Zeitler leaving, Frank Ragnow retiring, Ben Johnson leaving, all this. No, we're good. therein lies an issue for me. Like, that's the bigger conversation to have. Because if Dan, you can't look at this team and say this was enough. And this has nothing to do with the injuries. Even with the injuries, you had guys healthy this season, and it didn't look like it once did. It's going to be some questions at the podium in a couple weeks.
I think so, and I think rightfully so. Here's the way I look at it. The reason it stunned me so much is by far a season low in 15. Here's what Detroit has done in rushing the football this year, okay? 46, Green Bay, in order. 177, 224, 109, 118, 100, 164, 65 against Minnesota. 226, 74, that was against Philly, 237, 119, 109, 70, and 15.
Yeah, when I hear that, I'm just like, man, like Jahmyr Gibbs is a special running back.
Yeah. How much is enough? So they average 123.5, which is about middle of the pack. It's a little bit above middle of the pack, but not much. So if that's the case, I mean, do we think that is suffice? I mean, is that a sufficient number, 123.5? This is why you always say numbers can be very misleading, very skewed. The last 2 weeks, and they've lost back-to-back games for the first time in 3 years, the last 2 weeks, they have been unable to get their running game going. That's an issue.
Because the offensive line play is becoming worse and worse because you're going lower and lower down that depth chart. And when you're bringing guys in, look, I understand the next man up. Like it's a great concept. It's great, especially when it works, i.e. the Chargers, i.e. the 49ers, i.e. like the Lions last year.
It's a great phrase. Yep.
But when you keep saying next man up and you're getting further and further and further, there's a reason why they're starters. There's a reason why certain guys get paid certain money. There's a reason why you're excited when certain guys are playing certain spaces. And you're now on a point in the last 3 weeks where here's the second string guard. Here's the third string guard. Here's the second string center. Here's the third string center. Here's the fourth string guard on this side. Now this guy's healthy. I got to take him and put him over here. Now I got to put you over here. You can't get any consistency. And you've done this for the last 3 weeks. And you're playing against defensive lines that get it. Like you played against the Rams. That is no slouch as a defensive line.
No.
Played against the Steelers. They've been playing really good in the last 5 weeks of the season. And then meanwhile, you're out here hodgepodge and trying to figure it out. There's no rhythm. There's no rhyme. And you also have a running back. He's not a running back that sets up through the middle. Like you got to be able to move. You got to be able to go. You got to be able to pull. Like he's all over the place. They don't have guys that can fill those roles right now.
Think about what you said earlier in the season was the teams that concern me. And this is not hodgepodging stuff together from lately their latest numbers. You said this. I want to say it was probably after week 5 after Cincinnati. You said the teams that concern me are the teams with the good defensive lines. So let's look at that. Green Bay, they rushed for 46. Kansas City, they rushed for under 100, 98. I rounded up to 100, but it's 98. Minnesota, they rushed for 65. Philadelphia, they rushed for 74. Green Bay's second time around was decent enough, 119. Then you've got the Rams 70, Pittsburgh 15. And you've got 2 pretty good defensive lines left. Chicago's playing much better football. If I want to be fair, they did rush for 177 against Chicago earlier this year, but I do think it's a different Chicago Bears team now.
Shoot, don't sleep on what the Giants did to them for the first 3.5 quarters of the game. Shit, the rest of the rushing game was on Jahmyr Gibbs in the last 5 minutes of the game and then overtime the first play.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the many concerns this team has. There's no doubt about that. I think the bigger question some people might have, is who would have thought going into this season, and we've said this a couple of times here on the show, going into the season, on average, 5 to 6 teams every year that make the playoffs one year miss the following year. Think about it this year, okay? Washington, are they making the playoffs? They are not. Minnesota, are they making the playoffs?
Nope.
They are not. Kansas City, are they making the playoffs?
Nope.
They are not. Detroit, in all likelihood, will not make the playoffs. Tampa, now they still control their own destiny, but that's a bit of an issue. I mean, they may not make the playoffs. And then the last one would be Baltimore. That would be 6. Because, I mean, if Baltimore doesn't make the playoffs. So there's 2. It's going to be tough for Baltimore because they got 2 games left, but one of them is against Pittsburgh. That's crazy. Who would have thought that going into the season? If I'd have given you those 6 teams, where would you have ranked Detroit on a team likely to miss the playoffs?
Hindsight is 2020. I mean, where are we talking about in this? I guess even before the season started, I wouldn't have thunk it.
Yeah.
But now I'm thinking more about things and moves, and we're not done. Like, I legitimately spent a lot of my time yesterday watching the defense. I was staring at one person. I was looking at Marcus Davenport. I was looking at this person that I was told that was going to come in here and help Aiden on the opposite side.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at this individual that I was told was injured with the Saints, with the Vikings, but you know what? He works hard. He's a good guy. It's going to work out.
He's done everything we've asked him to do.
He's done everything we asked him to
Right.
do. And then you ask him before the season started, he was like, why is everybody worrying about me?
Mm-hmm.
That's what he said in defensive, which is red flag for me. But I'm watching him, and I don't see it. He showed up once.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the player that you promised me. I'm looking at the DBs who still can't cover. Like, and yes, we're playing with the Legion of Whom. Whose fault is that?
That's right. Yeah.
Like, whom's fault is that? You drafted in this registrar who I have not seen. Terry Arnold, who can't figure it out yet. He's been injured. We understand that. DJ Reed. You got to stop trying to get players and cut some type of corner. Like, I just feel like you didn't prepare in the spaces that you should. They've been looking for a DB, with the exception of last year. You've been looking for a DB since Darius Slay left. You've been looking for an opposite rush in for a very long time.
Well, with this team, I mean, there's some things that everybody missed.
Yeah.
All right? From the time training camp, from the time last year ended, through training camp, through preseason, till now, there are a number of things that a lot of people, so-called experts, missed. What is it, the thing you missed more than anything else with this team? We'll get your thoughts on that in the chat. We'll get Braylon's thoughts and a whole lot more. Yeah,
we're good.
Well, here's the other thing. There are certain phrases used or certain attitudes that certain players and or coaches have had this year that I think will haunt them a little bit with the fan base. So we'll get to all that and more coming back here on the Braylon Edwards Show. First, this from Smoothie King and Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Use Braylon 2025. Use Braylon 2025 and it gets you 20% off your purchase at Smoothie King in Michigan. I'm telling you. I'm sorry it has to be Michigan, but it just is. 20% off is a big deal, especially when you're getting smoothies that have the real fruit, the real ingredients, and they refuel you, and which is the way that these smoothies do. And also, don't forget to nominate a high school athlete of the week. You scan the QR code above my head, and why are we nominating these individuals? We're nominating them for a chance to be the last Smoothie King, and that is the Smoothie King 12, high school athlete of the week. But you gotta have that impact, and the impact is to the community. Also, do the right things on and off the field, and you know what I'm talking about. You gotta be a leader. That's what we have. That's what the QR code is for. Scan it, and don't forget, we'll see you soon.
Folks, Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning love working on your home and making you warm in the wintertime and love making you cool in the summertime. It is something they've been doing for over 40 years and doing it at the highest level. They are experts in their field. Just check out their website if you need to be convinced. It's sharonsheating.com. DTE guest customers get a free furnace tune-up through the end of 2025. That time is running short, so schedule it today. You get free instant estimates on the website, sharonsheating.com. You get online filter purchasing as well, directly from the website. Check them out today on their website or call them today, 734-238-3805, and tell them the Braylon Edwards Show sent you.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Hunting season is almost here, Detroit, and your Lions are on the prowl. Make sure you're locked into Woodward Sports for all the Dan Campbell reactions, Jared Goff touchdowns, Amon-Ra first downs, Penny pancakes, Kirby picks, Gibbs big plays, and of course, Jack Fox's leg. Stay locked in on all your Lions coverage right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Why do we fight?
We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Every Sunday, there's only one place to get all your kneecapping, hard-hitting Detroit Lions coverage. Start your Sunday with the Lions Weekly Report with Broder and Terry Foster. Then, the Lions pregame show with Neil Rule and Sean Baligian. At kickoff, keep it locked in for all the emotions of the game with a live watch party with the heavyweights. Then, recap the game with the Lions postgame show with Anson. Game days, there's no other place to be than Woodward Sports. Live all game day. Go Lions. It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Looking to upgrade your relaxation game? Check out Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. The largest chair showroom in the Midwest with top brands for massage chairs like Infinity and Osaki. Located near the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road, experience luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc, creator of top YouTube massage chair review channel. Book a visit at www.massagechairhouse.com or scan the QR code. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
To kick off 2026, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is correct. Amon-Ra St. Brown, yours truly, number 14, is making a difference, and it's off the field, showing us a true meaning of community and care. Amon-Ra through the St. Brown Foundation is partnered with Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and Wicked Awesome Wishes to host the main event on January 5th from 4 to 7. Children facing life-altering challenges and illnesses will join us at Lady Jane's Flagship Salon that is right here in Birmingham for a night of joy and unforgettable memories. They'll get to dye their hair blue like Amon-Ra St. Brown. Enjoy a special dinner and take part in fun activities crafted with love by the team of Wicked Awesome Wishes and Lady Jane's. Stay tuned into Woodward Sports Live on Monday, January 5th as we share and support this amazing cause. For more info, visit stbrownfoundation.org.
And we back.
Good
you know
man.
what? We
Winner
got
on
this.
and off the field, man.
He's a good man. He's a really good man. Sorry, go ahead, Kool-Aid.
No, I was gonna say shout out to Amon-Ra St. Brown and everything he's doing on and off the field. And we got this poll though. Going. It says, is Dan Campbell most to blame for the Detroit Lions woe? So if you're in the chat and you haven't got the opportunity to, go on ahead and vote. Go on ahead and smash that like button. This actually shocks me. 44% of the people actually say yes, which is higher percentage than I thought there would be. So
what did you think it would be?
I thought that the majority of people would say it's either Brad Holmes or the injuries or Jared Goff. I thought maybe 20% at most.
So it's strictly a yes or no response.
Yep.
Is that true? Okay.
And how many people said he's to blame?
57% no right now, 43% yes.
43%.
57%, they need to stop drinking the coffee and wake up. At the end of the day, your coach is what takes you to the next level in the playoffs. Yes, injuries, everybody has injuries. So do I give Kyle Shanahan more credit because he's operating the way he does with all the injuries because they have more than the Detroit Lions do? Do I give Jim Harbaugh a little bit more credit than I'm giving Dan Campbell because they're fighting for first in the conference?
How about Mike Vrabel, who
all
lost Will Campbell, his starting left tackle?
How about to start the season, they got rid of all their captains because they didn't even believe this was going to be a good year. If we're being honest about what the New England Patriots
They sure didn't act like it was going to be.
Exactly.
Right?
So a lot of the woes of Brad Campbell, that's him and Brad. I mean, that's Dan and Brad connected at the hip. That's conversations before the season. That's a coach looking at his team and saying, this offensive line ain't going to cut it. Like, that's him having to look at that. That's Dan Campbell in game situations. I'm not trying to get into the fourth down or not conversation, but I'm just saying, how many times have we seen Dan this season, particularly, especially in the losses, to where you're questioning some of the calls that he made in the game? That's not what you need out of your HC, who I was told, to quote somebody who sits in this chair, was the best man for the job, and it wasn't going to matter that his coordinators left. Like, that's what I was told. So, yes.
That's bullcrap there. Right. I mean,
Yeah, right. I'm saying, but I'm just saying a lot more than you think has to go on a coach. Because if we're not giving the coach, the one who you said this is his culture, Dan created this.
Mm-hmm.
This is Dan Campbell's team. Then
well, it's Dan Campbell's offense too. Is what we.
And I was told that as well. So at some point, like, this falls on Dan Campbell as much as the players, as much on Brad Holmes, if not more.
Yeah.
This is his team.
Yeah, I agree. If last year we're going to sit there and say he was runner-up
Got
coach
snubbed.
of the year, right?
Snubbed.
Yeah, he got snubbed
2 years in a row.
Yeah,
Then
you're going to take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so or in this case, the bad with the good.
Right. Legitimately, the preseason aspirations and the preseason destiny. What did Brad say? What did Dan say? They said it was New Orleans,
Super Bowl,
correct?
right.
Okay. The fact that it's New Orleans, and right now after 16 weeks, you're sitting at 8-7. That failure has to go on to the coach.
Agreed. I'm glad they said, look, the
I
goal
appreciate
is
the
New Orleans.
43%.
Yeah, but I appreciate the fact that they said New Orleans, that they're willing to say, look, the expectations are high. Nobody else does that.
No.
Who else does that? I mean, you can rip on them all you want, but at least they're willing to say, we have high expectations. Now, they didn't live up to it.
We might need to stop doing that.
Yeah, well, maybe they do. Maybe they do. But isn't it interesting when somebody else doesn't do that? We're sitting there criticizing him. I mean, come on, tell us what you think. Scott Harris. We've said that about Scott Harris. Yeah. Okay, Dan Campbell deserves most of the blame, and I'm sure he would agree. He'll shoulder it. Yeah. He's got broad shoulders. He can take that. And that doesn't mean he's the only one. It just means he's the primary one.
Yeah, you're right.
Right?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct about that. He's not the only one trying to be the only one.
Let me ask you this. What did we miss? Why didn't we see this coming from this team? What's the one thing you may have missed about this team? I'd love to see what people say in the chat, and we'll get some of their comments because there's a lot in here, and I really appreciate the passion. I really do. Some of it I think might be a little bit over the top about certain guys having to go. We don't have to be knee-jerk reaction. We can be disappointed all we want. It doesn't mean you fire everybody and start all over.
Who are they trying to fire?
Kelvin Shepard is one of them.
Okay.
All right? That's just one of the names that has popped up. Okay. I get why there's disappointment in Kelvin Shepard, for sure. Okay? I mean, if we're not going to use excuses for Dan Campbell, we're not going to use it for Kelvin Shepard. Don't. All right? You've got to dial up ways to find ways to get to the quarterback. You've got to adjust where you've got better guys in better positions. Okay?
Also, too, this is why I don't try to overly put blame on coordinators versus coaches. Coach's job is to bring players in. Ain't no coordinator can go to the head to Sheila and say, hey, I need this player. Maybe you'll get your ass out of here. But a head coach can go and say, this is the player we need.
To the general manager, right?
To Sheila.
Okay.
Like Dan, and she hired him first.
But correct me if I'm wrong here. I don't know many coaches who would go right to the owner. They would have to go to their boss first. That's going over the head of a general manager.
Doesn't
Probably
matter
not a good look.
in the landscape. They are the individuals that can go bring about change. Mm-hmm. They can go ask for change. Like, that's not the offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator.
Okay. Well,
so Kelvin Shepard, he can't go to Dan Campbell and say, I don't want Marcus Davenport, but you and Brad Holmes keep shoving him down my throat.
Right.
I don't like this position. I don't think he can't say that. He has to coach what he has.
Correct. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
But when can we ridicule the coordinators then? Because we did it with John Morton earlier this year.
Right, John Morton has more at his disposal, in my opinion, than Kelvin
Shepard.
Kelvin Shepard.
Despite the bad center, left guard, and at times right guard, and at times left tackle, despite that, you think Kelvin Shepard has more at his disposal?
I would think so.
Okay. I think what we're doing is we're John Morton's
picking a side.
Yeah, well, John Morton's not coming back. Okay, so it really doesn't matter. But I don't think we can spare Kelvin Shepard for some of our angst, disappointment, and blame. I don't know. I don't know what the percentage is. Right. Sure isn't as high as the head coach, and it isn't as high as the general manager, and it might not even be as high as the players.
You know what? You're absolutely right, because I didn't think this defense was that good last year or the year before when everybody was trying to tell me this was a good defense. I thought they were a byproduct of a great offense. In fact, offense that was record-breaking. As good as the Rams are playing this year, they're not breaking the records that the Lions set last year or the year before that. So I think they were a bad defense this year as well in totality. So maybe that's more so, I think, what I'm looking at. I don't think it was a good defense. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I was like, yeah, he didn't do a good job, but I also didn't think they were going to live a defense.
Agreed. How good, like you said, was that defense under Aaron Glenn, and he seemed to make it work at least a little bit better. At least a little bit better. It doesn't mean I'm giving up on Calvin Shepard. It's his first year as a DC. I think there is an underlying concern that a lot of Lions fans have. And somebody in the chat said it's not Calvin Shepard's fault he doesn't have any pass rushers. Well, wait a minute. He's got Aiden Hutchinson, who he says is the best at his position. Before the season began, that's what he said about Aiden Hutchinson. All right? And last year, Aaron Glenn only had him until the Dallas game and somehow made it work. Okay?
And some people out there like AQM.
What's that?
And some people out there like what AQM is doing as well.
Oh,
got a few sacks. I'm just saying, like, there's a few sacks.
Muhammad. I didn't realize he had a nickname yet.
Yeah, Mr. We're Good.
Boy, he clearly lied because he just cracked double digits in his 2 games left.
Right. Ooh. Right. But he was 2 weeks ago. He was, I think, the leader until Aiden Hutchinson overtook him. My point is, with Calvin Shepard, is that he thought he had some. Look, they're always going to talk up their players. Thought he had some really good players. Obviously, not enough. Brad Holmes, this team in general, has to go back and figure out why they stumbled as much as they did. They've got to figure out, and the best is being able to adjust on the fly. And that's what this team's going to have to do. This team, this coaching staff, I'm going to include all of them. Dan Campbell, okay, if you want to throw John Morton in there, Calvin Shepard, they have not adjusted on the fly like you thought they would be able to. Is that fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like players didn't get better this year.
It didn't seem like it.
With the exception of Jack Campbell.
Right.
Like, it didn't look like players got better this season.
If anything, you could make the argument that some of them digressed.
I didn't want to say it out loud, but you're absolutely correct. Like, and that's what it seems. So, like, everybody's under investigation. Going into this offseason, getting back to that, has to look different. Last year it was quiet. It was, almost trolling of sorts. In fact, that's what was going on. Some trolling was going on, some laughing, some joking. We don't have to do that. We don't need to do that. We'll get to. You can't do that this year.
Yeah.
You have to be serious. You have to be intentional. There's some serious needs. And also
I hate to put it this way. I know it's not sexy, but you've got to address the trenches. And you can never have enough. It's like pitching in baseball. You can't have enough. And it's like defensemen in hockey. You can't have enough. You've got to be able to address the areas that maybe not is always the one that you're going to buy a jersey from the damn store from. So you're going to go into the Lions store at Ford Field, and I know everybody wants 14, and I know everybody wants 1 or 0 or 16, but guess what? Even though you don't see many 69s out there, sorry, Tate Ratledge, you don't see many 58s, all right? Those are the guys that you need more than anything else. And it's funny, somebody in the chat said, well, Aleem McNeil, first time we've heard his name. It was actually in Tampa, but I hear your point. He's been a disappointment. Aiden Hutchinson,
too.
Yeah, a little bit of a disappointment. Tyleek Williams, a first-round pick, disappointment. No question on the edge. Marcus Davenport and whoever else, major disappointment. The secondary, I mean, that's the thing I missed. The thing I missed was the guys up front, and I think Lopez has been actually pretty good.
Yeah,
but the guys up front, whether it be Reeder, McNeil, Williams, Hutchinson to a certain extent, Newt wasn't counting on Davenport or anybody else. That group in general, that group that goes into that room to study film, that's the thing that I missed. I missed it.
The last 3 seasons, Lions have flown around. They've been physical on both sides of the ball, and they beat you up. You just heard about the San Francisco 49ers. That was a conversation. Every time you play the 49ers, when they were in their heyday 4 or 5 years ago, when you played the 49ers, the record was like 0-18. like the next 18 games because they beat you. That's what the Lions had started doing on both sides of the ball. They would beat the hell out of you. In fact, so much that people started complaining because it wasn't just dirty plays. It was they were tired of getting beat up within between the numbers, in between the hatches. So that's what you saw. At the point of attack, it was physical. The offensive line used to maul people. Defensive lines gave up before you even got to the second half, before you got to the fourth quarter. Games were already decided because the will was gone. The will was on both sides. You break it on offense in that offensive line, and then you break it on defensive line in the trenches, game's over. And you're just going through the motions, putting up points. Like, they don't have that physicality. Hasn't been that situation where you're going into games and people are already looking like it's only a matter of time before they impose their will. That's what the Commanders were waiting for last year.
Right.
They were waiting for us to impose our will. That didn't happen. You go 3-and-out. Now that gives them hope. That's what hasn't been this year is that, oh, shoot, we got a game.
Yeah, and it's not just pass rushing. Look, somebody in the chat says
flying around in general.
DJ Reader is not a pass rusher. That's not what we're referring to. We're not referring to just pass rushing. That Pittsburgh team just gained 230 yards on you on the ground. They shoved it right down your throat. Yeah. That means it's not just pass rushers. It's guys who are supposed to stop the run. And that is defensive tackles engaging enough to let linebackers make tackles. Jack Campbell had 16, a season high, 16 tackles. He got 159 on the year. The defensive tackles need to start to step forward too. It's easy to just point to Hutchinson and, man, I don't know what the other side. Yeah. But the defensive tackles have not been good enough this year, period.
Yeah, that complimentary word, man, it's all around. The complimentary, the chemistry, rhythm, it has been none of that this season. You got to have it. We saw what we had when we had it. You start developing that rhythm in the end of 22. You rolled it into 23 and 24. It was cooking. And, you moved a lot this year. And, we're good. We can just move this here or we can move that there because we have this. I think, unfortunately, they put too much faith in their great players. Yes, they have some players that are all pro, and they have some players that are on the way, putting themselves in position to maybe down the road have a future and can. I think they put too much faith in those and not enough faith in the guys. You got to have guys to help those guys. Like Shepard saying, yeah, you got Amon-Ra St. Brown, and you got a 4-2 wide receiver in J-Mo, and you have Jahmyr Gibbs, who's electric, and David Montgomery. Who the hell is blocking for him?
Yeah, right.
Like, who's the guy who's blocking for him? On the opposite side, the same thing. Yeah, you got Aiden Hutchinson, and we saw the trajectory he was on 2 years ago. Oh, shoot, here he comes. He's cooking with grease. He's about to be Defensive Player of the Year. He gets injured.
Let me ask you a quick question. Somebody brings it up in the chat. I'm not going to go so far as to what they said in the chat, but they said Brad Holmes drafts trash on the offensive and defensive line. So he's drafted Penei Sewell. He is not trash. Tate Ratledge, it's really hard to come to a conclusion on him. He's been good sometimes. He's been bad sometimes. I think that's not unique just to Tate Ratledge. Others, I mean, yeah, Christian Mahogany, Giovanni Manu,
Kobe Sorsdale.
Yeah, I get that. Why you feel like they have not been good enough, because I don't think they have either. Defensive line-wise, Aiden Hutchinson, Aleem McNeil, Tyleek Williams, and yes, the other guys like Pascal, for example, not good enough.
Mekhi Ringo, I mean, he's like 6th round, so we're really counting that.
Yeah. What's the overall thought on Zaworke? The overall thought on Brad Holmes' ability to judge and scout linemen in general on both sides of the ball?
Inconsistent and not necessarily a great hit rate. You got Penei Sewell, and Penei Sewell, because of how good he was, it adds value. It adds a little bit more to the caveat. And then Aleem McNeil. And waiting to see what that looks like moving forward from this injury. But sure, that's two. Tate Ratledge, I won't judge necessarily yet, because when you don't have a center play, the offensive line as a whole struggled through it. Yeah. You didn't have that, 5 or 1 to 2, 3 to 4 to 5. It was just inconsistent all year, and that's tough. And it's tough for Penei Sewell to teach on the run. So I won't necessarily count him just yet. I think there is something to Tate Ratledge, but yeah, I wouldn't say it's the best record.
Yeah, I get that. Somebody says Hutchinson and Sewell fell into his lap.
Hutch did.
You could have taken somebody else. I'm not in the habit of telling either players or coaches or general managers, sorry, you lucked out.
I didn't say you lucked out.
I'm not telling you. I'm talking about the people in the chat.
When it's 3 elite pass rushers and you're picking number 2, like, you're gonna get one of the 3 at that particular time. And so you chose a guy up the road and went to Michigan that just broke Michigan's sack record. Like, all right, cool. Like, do you want a cookie because you drafted him second overall when he was one of 3? Like, this isn't a pick you made at 11 where you had to take a chance and figure something out. It's a number 2 pick overall. And you were in a need where you were going to get a defensive end, whether it was him, whether it was Trayvon Walker from Georgia,
Kayvon Thibodeau.
And Kayvon Thibodeau. It was one of the 3.
Agreed. However, most fans, not you, okay, separate yourself. Most fans didn't want Aiden Hutchinson. Most people thought he was just a guy who played in college and was a local guy. You don't take him because he's a local guy. You only do that if you're the Red Wings. And you don't take a guy like this because he's not good enough. They wanted Kayvon Thibodeau, most of them. Okay? So just because Brad Holmes didn't have the desire to draft a guy like Kayvon Thibodeau and make the right call, and he could have taken somebody else, could have taken Sauce Gardner, okay? You didn't have to take the guy. He took the guy, and I'm going to give him credit for making the right pick.
He also finished runner-up in the Heisman and had 15.5 sacks. Kayvon Thibodeau only played 3 games that year.
Okay, well, Kayvon Thibodeau also went 5th. He went high anyway.
He did because he has a talent for sure.
Okay, well, that's my point. All right, my point is you've got a general manager. Just because he made the right pick doesn't mean it fell in your lap. You had other choices, and the same thing with Penei Sewell, and you've brought that example up before too. I want to ask this. What are the words that some of these members of the Lions? What are the words that are going to haunt them? Because I think there's a number of them. Jared Goff has come out, said things. You brought up a guy like Marcus Davenport. Kool-Aid's brought up.
We're good.
Right. Those are some things that are haunting, I think, some of these Lions personnel, if you will. We'll dive into that when we come back. We've got more from the chat for sure because it is active. It is really active, and I love it.
Here, see what they got to say.
We get them in there for sure.
So jump.
And we will do that when we come back on the Braylon Edwards Show on Woodward Sports after this from Les Stanford and Jack's Car Wash. Folks, it's the very end of the year. The deals are hot and heavy. That's not just a line from a Seinfeld episode. That is the truth. Okay, look at these deals at Les Stanford and LesStanford.com. $189 a month for a 2026 Silverado, plus tax. An XT6 of 2025. Okay, this past season, $359. Beautiful. And the Buick Enclave, $299 a month, plus tax. That's right there at Les Stanford. Their inventory is massive. Check them out today at LesStanford.com.
Jack's Car Wash, #1 car wash in the state. I know it's wintertime, but guess what? You still should get your car wash, especially to knock that salt off your vehicle. How about this? We get you a free car wash. WSN, text that to 888-522-1729. Again, WSN to 888-522-1729. You know this bill. There's 4 locations around the state. There's free vacuums, free compressed air, all these things if you use the unlimited plan. Get that unlimited plan for $29.99. It is worth its weight in gold. Telling you, we only partner with the best, and the best is Jack's Car Wash.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill Sub-Zero. Icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play.
Every Sunday, there's only one place to get all your kneecapping, hard-hitting Detroit Lions coverage. Start your Sunday with the Lions Weekly Report with Broder and Terry Foster. Then, the Lions pregame show with Neil Rule and Sean Baligian. At kickoff, keep it locked in for all the emotions of the game with a live watch party with the heavyweights. Then, recap the game with the Lions postgame show with Anson. Game days, there's no other place to be than Woodward Sports. Live all game day. Go Lions. Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings. From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Sports fans, don't miss expert sports injury insights from Dr. Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. You can catch him here on Tuesdays, the Big D Energy, as well as Braylon Edwards Show, Shep. That's us two right here on Thursdays, where he shares his top tier advice and he keeps athletes in their peak condition. Trust the guy we trust, and that's Dr. Jeff Pierce. Here's I can't wait to see what that is. He's here to help you stay in the game and perform at your best. Contact him at MichiganSportsandSpine.com or 248-426-9944.
Hey, it's the holiday season. You know that right now. So the gift of free pizza with buddies is pretty appetizing. Yes, I said that for effect in the words of my friend Braylon Edwards. Receive a free 4-square one-topping pizza voucher with every $50 gift card purchase right now through the end of 2025. Take advantage of it, everybody. Buddy's Pizza, the ultimate gift. It's delicious. It's Detroit. It screams Detroit with 22 locations throughout Metro Detroit. All you got to do is go
Somebody
to
get
Buddy'sPizza.com.
Shep some Buddy's Pizza like ASAP.
Yeah, that would be a good.
He was getting passionate there.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. I'm angry.
David Banner.
Somebody in the chat said the Lions should have drafted J.J. McCarthy.
Bray should like that one.
I thought you would get a kick out of this. Like,
Go ahead.
There's been 32 possible games that he could have played in his career, and he's missed 23 of them. You know what the difference is? 9.
Oh my God,
That's well done.
I thought you would like
That's
that.
really good. That's really good. And not I don't root for anyone to get hurt or to do poorly, quite honestly, unless they're
Just
playing the
9.
team that I love. Yeah, it's just that's going to haunt him, I think, and I think there are certain things that haunt general managers all the time. I've said this for a long, long time. Whether it be Joe Dumars, as brilliant he was at times, the thing that haunts him is Mehmet Okur, or not a Mehmet Okur.
Darko
Milicic, thank you. Mehmet Okur's trade to Utah, maybe that's part of it. And
That sucked, too.
and certain things it did, and certain actions. Okay, the same thing is happening, I think, to the Detroit Lions right now.
Yeah.
Last week we played a quote that Jared Goff said on the flagship station of the Detroit Lions radio network, and how he's a little upset with fans who are jumping off the proverbial bandwagon.
Yeah.
Do you have his quote? Do you remember
it?
Fire away.
That's awesome. This was in his response to the question. Thank you, guys. I don't need to reinstill faith in anyone. It pisses me off a little bit to hear that. But, yeah, we know we got to win the first one, and this first one is Pittsburgh. That quote is going to haunt him because two things. One, he immediately got offensive, and we talked about the quote.
Yeah.
If he would have left out the one part where it was like pissing me off a little bit, if he would have left that out there, it would have been fine. I don't need to reinstill him. Okay, cool. Now tell us about the game. But instead, he had that little point that pisses me off. Well, what pisses Lion fans off is the fact that you let the Pittsburgh Steelers rush for 230 yards. And maybe that is what the sensitivity to the question, because I think he took it as a offensive question. Like, more so, what do you need to do? What does the offense need to do? What is that side of the football? Jared, they were talking about the whole team, because the whole team has been inconsistent this year, as you saw yesterday. That quote's going to haunt them. Brad Holmes, we're good, as he was talking about the defensive ends, and also, too, him talking about, I don't know why you keep bringing up the defensive end position at the draft. I don't know what's that about.
He did say that. He did
well,
say
we
that.
know what it's about now. And the third one, which will be the biggest one for me, will be Dan Campbell at the press conference after losing to the 49ers. We don't know if we'll ever be here again. Those are the three.
I think the other one would be, I think Dan Campbell and Calvin Shepard said this. We're right where we want to be.
Ooh, after Minnesota.
Do you remember that? Do you guys remember that quote?
Dang,
Was it
Shep
after
got the
Minnesota or was it
receipts.
after Tampa?
I think it was after Minnesota.
I think it was after Minnesota.
Yeah,
It was like that Monday after the loss. Not that Sunday, but the Monday.
Right.
Well, I forgot about that one.
Yeah. we're right where we want to be. I mean, that is because I think, on that Monday, you actually said, "Are you really? Do you really? This is where you want to be? Are you really?"
It's not too often I get pissed off at teams that I'm trying to fall in love with. Like, that pissed me off like a old school fan.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell do you mean you're right where you want to be? That's not the case. As a former player, hell no. This ain't where I would want to be.
This is going to be, and somebody just put this, Just a Fan 2 said this offseason
Shout out Just a Fan.
will tell us a lot about the Lions. It really will. Now, we've said this before. We've said that about the Tigers. This offseason is going to tell us a lot about the Tigers. There has been very little, if any, movement, unless you want to pat yourself on the back for Drew Anderson.
Yeah.
So I which I don't think they should. So that has told us a little something. We've read into this, have we not? Sometimes we get ahead of ourselves, and we probably shouldn't be doing that, but we read into certain things. The lack of action can be just as telling as the action itself. Am I wrong there?
No, 100%. And I would go, I agree. The lack of action, 100%. And that's what this past offseason was. Like, I would even go so far as this last offseason told us a lot about ourselves, told us a lot about the front office. This one, unfortunately, is a response to last year, because my question now becomes, there's some glaring holes, and you haven't necessarily shown me where you can fix one or two things in an offseason. This offseason, there's going to be a little bit more to fix than just getting an offensive lineman or getting a center. There's going to be a little bit more to, all right, now we got to move on from Marcus Davenport because clearly this isn't it. We got to add there's more to do this offseason. And that's the annoyance of last year being so quiet or being so cavalier or being so thumbing up your nose at you realistically. They acted in this past offseason like they were where they finished off the season before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, season before, you go to the NFC Championship, you lose with a game that you could have won. We know this, blah, blah, blah. You got to work, essentially, that next offseason. Couple jokes here or there from Brad at the podium, but for more like, hey, look, we're excited. Get this thing rocking and rolling. Let's get back to it. Last season, you lost in the first round. And the whole offseason, well, not the first round, the second round, your first game, the whole offseason felt like you had got to the NFC Championship and should have won. That's what it felt like last year. And that happened 2 years ago. So I would argue that last offseason told us a lot. This one will be for jobs.
Keep this in mind. And I'm not trying to be a negative person here and be having you spoil your holiday. But somebody brought this up, so it needs to be brought to everyone's attention in case you're unaware.
That's what the chat's for.
The salary cap situation for next year is damning. Look at it. As it stands, I believe the Lions are projected to be $54 million over.
I was about to say, what did you say about Brian Branch and Sam Laporta?
And I said Jack Campbell and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Oh.
Okay. So going into the season, that ranked last in the entire NFL in terms of total cap space for 2026.
Yeah.
Okay. So based on over the cap, that website, the estimate of the salary cap of $295 million. Okay. They've got just under $350. Now that could change. Okay.
Yeah.
But as of right now, they've got just under, I believe, $350 million on the books.
Yeah.
So, with that said, what are they going to do? So when we think that it's automatic, you need to take that into account. Okay?
I hope that when you were paying Aleem McNeil early, as well as Kirby Joseph, as well as giving Jared Goff $53 million, not trying to argue if it was worth it or not, we're way past that, $53 million and all these extensions, I hope a conversation was had at that table to say, hey, look, we believe in our players, we love our players, this is why we're going to take care of you. But if we come down that pipeline and we need to redo some contracts to reconfigure some money because we're trying to take care of ours, we're trying to be different than other organizations, appreciate that. Well, make sure you come back to that table and maybe help us out because the goal is to win the championship. You paid all these cats early, and now you're going to have to ask for restructuring. I remember talking to Larry Fitzgerald years ago. I used to talk to him. That's my guy. I used to talk to him a ton, especially when we played. And they always asked him to restructure. He's like one of the only players in history of the NFL to receive all the money that like was thrown out there from start to finish, every escalator, every incentive. And they used to come to him. They say, hey, Larry, we want to restructure your deal. Fine, no problem. He restructured his deal 4 or 5 times. Yeah. And I asked him, I said, why you leave all that money on the table? He said, be like, man, they take care of me. He said, I do right by our organization. We're fine. He said, but I want to win. He said, I don't give a damn about all this individual time. He said, I was individual at Pittsburgh. My teams were terrible. He said, I want to achieve some level of success. By right, I think after the second restructure, goes to the Super Bowl and has a hell of a game. I say that to say this. The relationship was there with Larry and the Bidwells, who don't like anybody. Right. The relationship was there. They renegotiated because Jared, you better be open for the renegotiation.
Well, I think there's a lot of guys. Let me give you the cap hit for Jared Goff next year. It's $69.6 million.
Wait. One more time.
That's 22.5% of the
How much?
According to Sport Track, it's 69.6. That's a cap hit percentage of 22.6%. Okay. Amon-Ra St. Brown is $33 million. That's a cap hit for next year. Aleem McNeil is almost $29 million. Penei Sewell is $28 million. Taylor Decker's $21 million. DJ Reed is $18. Aiden Hutchinson is $10 for next year. 10 only. Derek Barnes, 9. I could go on and on and on. There's going to be guys who are gone, like Graham Glasgow next year. It's $8.5 million. I'd be surprised if he's back. Okay, so you're going to wiggle your way out of some of that, which then leads you to wonder a little bit: do you take Tate Ratledge, move him to center, insert Miles Frazier at right guard, Christian Mahogany's your other left guard, and so I'm just asking.
No, I know.
Okay? I don't know if that's the case, but there are certain cap hits that are really heavy and almost like albatrosses for this team in 2026. They're going to have to get creative. Here's the good news. Detroit is a very creative front office when it comes to the salary cap. They know what they're doing.
They know that corporate world. They know how to move that money around.
And I'll be honest with you. Not all of us understand it, okay? Not all of us understand what, dead cap is and what total cap is and base salary, but you got signing bonuses, you got all this other stuff, right? I don't know how they move that money around. Those guys are smarter than I am when it comes to that financial stuff. Yeah, I can just tell you.
The barbershops.
They do. There you go. There you go. That's well said.
Barbershops and casinos.
All I can tell you is in 2026, they're gonna have to be creative with the financial aspect because it is heavy for them.
Oh, and go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Gumby in the chat.
Gumby
7777 said, "Don't blame quote unquote we the chat for not drafting Carter." He says Holmes and Brad got paid millions of dollars plus scouts to f that up. The fans have been pushing back on they're like, look, that's Brad.
I have been. No, I didn't want the Lions to not go to the playoffs for you guys to eventually come around and say you would have drafted Jalen Carter, but I do appreciate that.
Somebody in the chat said. Somebody said the chat, I'm talking over the cap, we're $54 million. I looked it up, we're definitely almost 6 under. That's maybe for this year. I'm talking about next year. And I was referencing Sport Track. Okay? I got it right here, man. I mean,
if you're going to do some research and then call somebody out, please don't do enough research and call Shepard. That's the wrong one.
Yeah, the total cap allocations for the Lions in 2026 per Sport Track, again, I'll go per Sport Track, and this was updated not too long ago, was $311 million. Okay, and if the cap, and I said it could change, if the cap's at about 293, that's obviously you're in the red there. Yeah. That's all. So, and I appreciate all that in the chat, I really do. But we've got to keep certain things in mind, and I'm giving you references. I don't see your references, but I'm giving you the references because this is not me just pulling it out of my back pocket. All right.
Who gets let go? That's it's too early. We still have two games the rest of the season, but you start asking those questions, you start looking at those tickets and those prices. I'm like, I got a couple out the gate.
Yeah, I think you and I can come to a consensus on that. That also means that you're trying to replace that player with somebody who doesn't warrant as much money, which oftentimes tells you they're not as good, or a rookie. And you're asking for a lot of rookies to do some, or inexperienced players. How's that? Not necessarily rookies. Inexperienced to do some things. That's why maybe, just maybe, Christian Mahogany is an important piece moving forward. Why Tate Ratledge why Tyleek Williams is an important piece moving forward. Why there are certain guys in that defensive secondary that you have to get in there and play because of how much you're paying them. How much is that going to be with Kirby Joseph? That should scare the hell out of everybody because even he's admitted about how bad his knee is.
Yeah, we need to get some more eyes, too, on the scouting department.
It's a lot of money for your quarterback, but a lot of teams are going through that. All right?
Yeah, that's why at the end of the day, my only problem, I always make this whole conversation, my only issue with Stafford, with Goff's contract is the fact that you knew, you paid him what you paid him, you knew what type of quarterback he was, and then you didn't give him the offensive lineman that he necessarily needed.
Right.
If you're gonna pay him,
you did last year, but you didn't this year.
100%. Right. If you're gonna pay him $53 million, then you got to keep those up. You got to keep those linemen operating on a level like last season. That's when he can be his best self.
I'm sure just about every team is doing this right around this time of the year if they don't feel like their team is going to make the playoffs. In fairness to the Lions, without sounding too much like that negative Nelly, there is a scenario where they make it. Now, I don't see that scenario coming to fruition personally. Right. The game that concerned me more than anything else was the Minnesota game because I thought Detroit would beat Pittsburgh, and I was dead wrong. Minnesota's very good up front defensively, and they're very good defensively overall. So it's going to be hard to move the football against them. And don't give me this bullcrap that Chicago's going to have clinch. They're not going to be playing for anything. They're not going to play anybody. First and foremost, you have a 53-man roster who dresses on Sunday. You don't, or a 48-man roster who dresses on Sunday. You don't have that many guys who you can just say, all my starters sit. That can't happen. Okay, so that's number one. And number two, if you don't think Ben Johnson, after having his team torched for 52 points in week 2, isn't going to want his team to put up some type of exclamation point on the regular season, you don't know the man.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Ben Johnson, this is going to be personal. Like, you know what he said? Like, he made it personal with Green Bay, and he had never even been a head coach. You know how he feels about the Detroit Lions and Dan Campbell. He wants to be the one to bury, and not proverbially, definitely. Just think about this. You're talking about making it to the postseason. Mathematically, they can make it. I was in a situation like this before. First year I get to the Jets. They're 3-1 when I got there, Shep. Like 3-1. So I'm leaving an 0-4 Cleveland Browns, and I get to a 3-1 Jets. I'm like,
bring that smoke.
I was like, all right, this is going to be good. So I get there. We lost. First game I was there, we lost to the Dolphins, Monday Night Football. We lose. Scored the first touchdown, so shout out. We lose the next game to Buffalo, beat Oakland, lost to Miami, lost to Jacksonville, lost to New England. So now already it's like, man, season's over. Like, it is what it is. Then we keep hearing that there may be some hope. There may be a space where you guys can get in there. We win 3 in a row, and then it's like, okay, you guys got a shot. Then we lose the second to last game of the season. We lose. It's like, oh, man, it's over. Everything that had to happen in that final week happened, including us beating Cincinnati in the night game. We get into the playoffs. We turn around and play Cincinnati again, Chef. Beat Cincy and Cincy. We go to San Diego, beat San Diego and San Diego, and we go to the Colts, and we're winning at the half. I say that to say this. The reason why that happened, our offense wasn't necessarily as a whole that good. Like Mark Sanchez was a rookie. We didn't throw the ball a ton. But you know what we had? We had the number 2 rushing attack in football, and we had a damn good offensive line. And on the defense, inadvertently, had a really good defense led by Darrelle Revis, who was in the second year. And then we know what he did in year 2, where he could have been the player. Actually, it was that year. The year he could have been player of the year was 2009. So you got him over there. Obviously, Charles is my guy.
Right.
Now, he was locking down more than, but he just had a really good defense over there. Dave Harris, University of Michigan linebacker.
Sure.
Defense was stout. And the running game was number 2 in the league. So we could run the ball. We could control the clock. We had Thomas Jones, Sean Green. We had enough to when we got in the playoffs, we didn't mind.
You believed, right.
We believed, and I believe in that defense. I believe in the running game. I said, shoot, Mark don't have to throw the ball. I'll go knock anybody out for this run game. We had a belief. We had an identity on both sides. Even though we couldn't throw the ball, we knew we could run the ball.
That's why you were dangerous.
So that's why you say when they get in, what's the difference? You can't run the ball like that. You can't play defense like that. And too many of your holes have been exposed for the last 7 weeks. We go back to the Vikings game. Shoot, the Giants game is the one where I was out. The Vikings game, I was like, look, that didn't look good. We'll see what happens. Maybe they can fix it, blah, blah, blah. The Giants game was officially when I said,
Red flag. Right.
I'm waiting for next year.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Minnesota.
And we had great special teams too.
Yeah, and that's an underrated part of the league for sure. Combat Leg said I would trade Branch, Monty, J-Mo, Anzo, Reeder before Laporta. Well, Monty's got another year left, and it'll be worth about $5 million. I don't know what you would get for him.
If you're not going to run the ball, it don't matter.
Yeah, that's true. J-Mo might be a little challenging, and I'd like to know who takes his place, but that's it. Anzo's at the end of he's. I mean, you're not trading him. His contract is up, and same thing with Reeder.
He's going to cut him.
Yeah, so same thing with Reeder, unless you can get them back on a cheaper deal. So you let him go and you bring him back. But
I let Anzo go. I will let Reeder go and just move Tyleek into what Reeder is. And then as it relates to Branch, I never thought I'd say this. I would be open for trade. See what it brings about. I understand how great of a player he is to you, Cam. But I had that conversation. I said, all these penalties and all these other fouls. I said, when it starts to come about money, there's a different conversation. You need a lot for the Lions, whether you believe it or not. He is a piece where you can get a lot back in return.
Well, that's an excellent point.
And you're paying Kirby,
I didn't look at it like that way, but here's the problem. Someone's got to play safety for you.
Yeah.
And if it's not going to be Kirby Joseph because of the knee that you're very concerned about, like I brought that up earlier, and your eyebrows both went ooh like that, someone's got to play for you. So if it's not Kirby Joseph and it's not Brian Branch, who the hell is it?
I got to figure that out.
Exactly. Got to figure it out. All right, when we come back, we're going to try and figure out a really cool Christmas movie bracket. Braylon's got it. We've been chomping at the bit about this.
It's here.
I'm excited for it. We're going to do that because this is the last day of the week with Braylon. I want to make sure we do that.
Number one.
Elf number one.
Every time.
Are you calling your shot?
Every time we've talked about it, he said Elf.
He said Elf.
Yes.
He's calling the shot.
Time.
It is the movie.
Yeah. You're an angry elf. All right, we'll do that when we come back after this from Black Rock and Lady Jane's haircuts.
We didn't talk about the DK stuff too.
Snap! Well, we can do that. We can put the Christmas movies off another day, but you won't be here.
We can mention it quick. We can talk about it quick. Look, looking for dinner plans that Sizzle. Bring yourself over to Black Rock Bar and Grill. Unfortunately, they're not doing the you win free appetizer deal, but apparently you don't need it. You still can get the 20% off your food bill though if you mention Woodward Sports, home of the steak on the stone, and they've launched a whole new menu where I return some of your faves that still sizzle. Prime sirloins are here to stay. Top Rock experience guaranteed on that one. All you can eat platters are still floating around $20. So got the price point that fits into yours. And then also don't forget the holidays are here. The holidays are here. Christmas is 3 days from now. 50 gets you 60 with the gift card at Black Rock Bar and Grill. It's not bad, right? Yeah. Get you extra $10 and you still get the 20% off the phone bill. So, I wish I could get 20% off my phone bill. I need that right about now. Look, man.
Texting plan?
A sizzle above the rest. Black Rock Bar and Grill.
Yeah, talk about good deals. That's where it's at. When it comes to Lady Jane's and your haircut for men, you want to make sure you're in a comfortable space that's clean, that takes care of you the way you feel like you should be treated. That's Lady Jane's Haircut for Men. You get guys coming in here, they go to the desk, they just mention their name. I'd like to get a cut as soon as possible. Before they even sit down in a Pistons chair or a Red Wings chair or a Tigers or a Lions chair, they're bouncing right back up and saying, okay, I'm ready to go, and they're out of here. That's how quickly they turn it around. It's like a really good restaurant. They turn around the tables. These ladies turn around the chairs quickly. They make it convenient for you. Lady Jane's open 10 till 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime because it's wicked awesome.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Injuries? Big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill Sub-Zero. Icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill Sub-Zero.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, you know, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. We got everybody. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Michigan, I already know you guys are ready for the biggest pickleball event of the year, and we'll just say of all time. It is the Woodward Sports Week of all time, Shep. It is the Woodward Sports Wicked Pickle Open, January 9th through the 11th, and we're kicking it off with a bang. Friday night at 7:30, the Woodward Sports Celebrity Tournament hits the court. All 4 shows are throwing down, plus local celebs, and it's all going to be broadcast live. Shout out to the heavyweights. Then the real battle begins. 3 days of non-stop pickleball, men's, women's, mixed, and singles divisions. This is where champions are made. Sign up now at pickleballtournaments.com. Scan that QR code on the screen or call Wicked Pickle today at 734-331-3451. And if we could take bets, man, I don't know. Bray and Shep, they might be the winning bet of all the 4 shows.
Guaranteed.
Oh my God.
Well,
I can't wait. Y'all gotta stay tapped in, man.
Shep, what if I told you could place any bet up to $1,000, and if you lose, you get that bet back?
I would say I like that.
You would like that. So would I. Scan this QR code, enter the code Woodward1000. And if your first bet doesn't hit, you'll get that deposit back up to $1,000. That's right, up to $1,000 back. Just for giving it a shot. Minimum bet, just $20. Download the Caesar Sportsbook app today, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use code Woodward1000 or scan the QR code on the screen.
And we back.
All right, I want to get to some super chats. We're going to get to that Christmas movie bracket that Braylon has put together. But first things first, I want your opinion on the DK Metcalf situation. He's a volatile human being, it seems like. I'm sure the NFL is going to come down on him in some way. In case people missed it, during the game, some fan reportedly called him over, had a yellow towel. Of course, he had blue hair. I don't know why DK Metcalf, who himself had blue hair at one point in Seattle, would go over there. But he did go over there and ended up throwing a punch at him. What's your take on it?
I thought it was worse than what, and hear me out before I finish. I thought it was worse than what it was yesterday. I thought he'd be looking at a multiple game suspension. I just knew the NFL was looking at it from a standpoint like the NBA saw the malice in the palace, like, oh, hell no. Like, this is not what we're going to be about. This is not what we want to start doing. So take a very stern, measure. You're watching it today, look at it. He didn't necessarily throw a punch. He threw a shove. But why is DK Metcalf over there in the first place? Like, you got a whole game going on, and your team is in the game in which you're trying to give yourself a better chance to win your division and make it to the postseason. You shouldn't be over there. You shouldn't be entertaining fans. I think this is a fan, from what I've heard, that has been at multiple DK Metcalf games, and DK has actually even gotten him thrown out of a game before. Now, this is coming down from Ian Rappaport, so take it for what it's worth. So you just can't put yourself in those situations. Like, you don't want to be over there. You don't need to be going back and forth with fans to the fact in which what they said makes you grab them in some regard and then shove, push, throw a punch that misses, whatever you want to say. It's just not a spot. Now, for individuals that comment on it and have never been necessarily called a racial slur, I would stay away from it, or I would say, I wouldn't say it's not about what people say, because you have a lot of people that have not been called a racial slur that are not even the same. You get what I'm saying? So they don't know what it's feels to have somebody call you out of your name, such an egregious term. I do, and it's not necessarily one that feels good. You don't know how you would react. So don't tell them that, hey, you take what anybody says. Right. Just say you as a player should not engage with anything that is going on in the stands and taking you away from your game. DK Metcalf was every bit wrong to be over there. He doesn't need to be over there. It's not where he's supposed to be at. That's where you need to be at. You need to be focused on your game. This is one of the reasons why Seattle didn't have a problem with letting him go. He's a very temperamental individual, and he has a couple of these a year where he's getting into it with fans or getting into it with refs, and so that's probably why they got rid of him. He got paid at work.
Try walking in somebody else's shoes before you start to judge that. I guess my question would be, where is Pittsburgh's security and where is Ford Field's security to even allow him to get to that point? Usually they step in and they do something before something like that happens. I say this all the time to people, and I know it oftentimes falls on deaf ears. Never been a fan of going to a game, booing, or calling somebody a name. I don't get that. You're in athletes, the testosterone is through the flipping roof.
Especially at that point.
Okay, yeah. Especially in football, but it's through the roof, okay? I ask people this all the time. If somebody came to you and said whatever, pointed their finger at you, said something, challenged you or whatever, even outside of that arena, all right, outside of a venue like that, what would you be saying? Now put on top of that the fact that they're competing, they're somebody always trying to show people and prove people wrong in various – it's just not conducive to anything good that's going to happen for the fan or for the athlete. It's a bad look for the league, and I hope something happens to the fan as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Because something like that cannot go unnoticed. It can't be just DK Metcalf.
You don't get to do – and say whatever you want
Agreed.
To the players, because basically right now the Lions are hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, regardless if DK should have been over there, now he did go over there, and now his fan says this. It should be like basketball. In basketball, you can tell on anybody, hey, him right here, those two, those three, get him out of here. I want him gone. So 100%, that's on the Lions, because you should not be allowed to come and do whatever the hell you want.
Just like last year at Ford Field when that dude was out there giving it to Matt LaFleur when he was supposed to be out there holding the flag. You got to understand what's going on with the situation, okay? Now, if the league, in fairness to the league and what's going on here, if they're going to come down on Jamison Williams or Amon-Ra St. Brown for pretending that they're flicking boogers for a celebration, my hope is that they at least investigate this and understand what's going on, all right?
I'm glad they stopped flipping boogers.
Me too, because that's disgusting. All right, let's get to the Christmas movie bracket from Braylon Edwards. And damn it, I'm up against it again, as always. Go ahead. All right, so the 1 seeds are Home Alone, Elf, Die Hard, and How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Everybody okay with that? I am not.
Never been a fan of Elf, y'all.
Uh-oh.
Nope, not for me.
Wow.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Great call.
I'm confused that It's a Wonderful Life is a 6 seed. Is that because it's a black and white movie and much older than it should be? Anyway, let's go through this. Go ahead. Home Alone or Scrooged? Is this Scrooge the one with Bill Murray, I assume?
100%.
All right, what do you got?
I enjoy Scrooge, but Home Alone is like goated.
I think that's the consensus. The Santa Claus or Miracle on 34th Street?
I understand what the Santa Claus. I understand what Miracle on 34th Street was and is. It's a great movie, and it stands up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a movie you still can watch.
It does.
But Santa Claus.
Okay, I would go with Miracle on 34th Street. A Christmas Story or If It's a Wonderful Life. This is the hardest selection for me in the entire bracket.
It's pretty easy for me. I don't have anything against black and white, as you're wearing black and white today. But Christmas Vacation is my favorite Christmas movie. So the fact that it's my favorite, it's gonna be.
Yeah, but it's a
anything.
Christmas Story against A Wonderful Life.
Oh, I'm sure. Okay. See, I was one down.
That's right. It's your bracket, my friend.
Christmas Story. You shoot your eye out.
Yeah, I would go Christmas Story as well.
Yeah.
Christmas Vacation obviously beats Jingle All the Way.
It's a good movie.
Die Hard being
Sinbad.
it is pretty good. Die Hard as a 1 seed is confusing to me. Home Alone 3 probably shouldn't even make this list. But what do you got? Die Hard, the 1 or the 8? Home Alone 3?
Die Hard is one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time. Die Hard.
Okay, for
one
sure.
Seed.
Rocky 4 against Edward Scissorhands. 2 very questionable. Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
Rocky
2 very questionable
going.
Christmas
we
movies.
already know.
Okay.
I was listening to There's No Easy Way Out.
Now we've got Batman Returns and Lethal Weapon. Who the hell picked all these Christmas movies with so much violence in them?
But I think they all have different genres. This one says kind of Christmas.
Oh,
I
Silent
think
Night.
There's an element of the movie that has Christmas. These are animated and modern faves and classics.
Okay, but here's my problem. Where the hell is 4 Christmases? It's not even on the whole bracket.
I told you I didn't make this shit up.
It
ain't mine.
All right, Batman Returns or Lethal Weapon?
Excuse me, so I can't start doing. Batman Returns is one Michelle Pfeiffer playing the Catwoman. Give me Lethal Weapon.
Okay, Lethal Weapon. Gremlins or Reindeer Games?
Gremlins.
Gremlins, me too. Yeah. All right, Elf or Grumpy Carl's Worst Christmas Ever?
Ask Cam.
Yeah, apparently Cam would go with Grumpy Carl's Worst Christmas Ever.
Come on, man.
Elf is lame.
I know Santa. I'm going with Elf.
I'm going Elf. Love Actually or Bad Santa?
Bad Santa.
All right.
Bad Santa.
The Holiday or The Ref?
Can I say neither?
I can tell you this. I don't know either one of them.
Yeah. Is The Ref with Billy Crystal?
I don't know. I don't know.
If The Ref is the one I'm thinking of with Billy Crystal, then put The Ref. He's going to lose the next round anyway.
Okay. Home Alone 2, Fred Claus.
Oh, man. What? Like, unpopular opinion, Home Alone 2 is better than Part 1, but that's neither here nor there.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas or Polar Express?
Polar Express was a great movie. It's visually stimulating.
It's kind of underrated.
Give me. I can't put it over the Grinch. Though.
Yeah, I can't either.
All right, I wanted to lobby for Polar Express. Maybe if it was in a different space, it could have got to the next round. But How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I assume this is the cartoon and animated.
All right, Charlie Brown Christmas or Frosty the Snowman?
Never liked Charlie Brown. He's a big scrub. So give me Frosty the Snowman. Like he's chasing behind this mean ass chick, man, for like 50 years.
Give it up, right?
Best friend's a bird.
All right, so you got Frosty the Snowman. His best friend's a beagle. Nightmare Before Christmas or A Muppet Christmas Carol?
It's the bird. What's his name?
Tweety.
No. He's got one of those names that you never know when you need it.
Oh, yeah.
Woodstock?
Woodstock.
Yeah,
there you
job.
go. Great
Good
call.
job.
Great call.
Yeah. But his best friend is Snoopy.
Yeah,
Snoopy's okay. I just wanted. All right.
Snoopy, you forget is a dog.
Yeah, I said he's a beagle.
I was like, what, a beagle? Who the hell is Full disclosure. I was like, who the hell is
There's a beagle.
Oh, shoot.
All right. Nightmare Before Christmas or Muppet Christmas Carol? That's a tough one.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay. And Rudolph or Crazy Nights?
8 Crazy Nights.
8 Crazy Nights.
Like
you're gonna go
Adam
with.
Sandler is brilliant.
It is.
Movie.
It's
like,
a really good one.
It's
All
not
right,
even a Christmas movie.
So we move on. Home Alone or The Santa Claus?
Home Alone.
Home Alone. So Home Alone. How far do you got Home Alone going? Final 4?
No, because it has to go up against Christmas Family Vacation.
Oh, so Christmas Family Vacation is into the Final 4 and then gets right there. Okay, so they're going to take care of that upper bracket.
Just for the sake of everyone else, I know I'm by myself in this. I guess Home Alone can win, but I would definitely choose a Christmas family vacation.
All right, who do you got coming out of this bracket here at the bottom? You got
Rocky IV.
You got Rocky IV, so it's going to be
Rocky IV.
Rocky IV in the finals against Home Alone. All right? And the upper right-hand bracket, I don't see much except for Elf or Home Alone 2. Is there an upset else that I don't recognize?
Yeah, like Home Alone. Bad Santa and Elf.
Okay.
Bad Santa and Elf. Upset alert. I'm like Cam. Like, I like Elf, but
You don't love it.
yeah, I'm not like the masses.
So you're going with Bad Santa against Home Alone 2?
Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton, I know it is.
100%.
Right, it's Bad Santa still. But that's going against Home Alone 2. What are you taking there?
Yes. I'm taking Home Alone too.
Okay, so you got Home Alone, you've got Rocky IV, Home Alone 2, and the bottom. Can 8 Crazy Nights get there, or is it How the Grinch Stole Christmas? What is it out of the lower bracket?
How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Okay, so How the Grinch
I
Stole
don't want to
Christmas.
be too untraditional.
So we got 2 Home Alones. We
Yep.
got Rocky and How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Yep.
Is what we have. All right. I would tend to agree with you. I'd go probably Home Alone, and I might go Die Hard in the lower bracket, and then I would probably go Elf and How the Grinch Stole Christmas. All right. You got Home Alone against Rocky IV.
Rocky IV.
Are you kidding? Okay. All right.
Home Alone. Home Alone. But I didn't want it to be Home Alone versus Home Alone, but it didn't matter.
Home Alone 2 against, what was here? How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Home Alone 2.
Home Alone 2. So it's Home Alone 2 against Rocky IV. And the winner is
Home Alone 2.
It's the best Christmas movie of all time, according to Braylon Edwards.
I like it more than one. It's the best Christmas.
It's the same
out of the
theme as
options we
one.
have. Theme, but it's a different movie. He's older. They're in New York, which has always been my favorite city. Like, he does different, the games, the schemes in which he pulls off, a little bit different. I thought the Bird Lady was creepy as hell.
Okay, Harry. I will get him.
The whole scene, exactly.
Slip
Bust his butt. The hotel scene, like the made up movies that they do in it, the black and white movies, they were funnier in the second one. Like when he's shooting the gun and everybody's running the hallway. That's all.
Yeah. No, I think they're brilliant. Home Alone 3, I don't even think I watched.
Nah, I
So
have nothing. Home Alone 2 channels, I think, when you're like 12, 11 years old, like what you feel. Because if I'm in a hotel, like in the city, these are all the things I'm doing. I'm going to the biggest toy store.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to the pool. I'm cannonballing in the pool.
That's a good point.
Like I'm ordering all the room service. I'm jumping up and down on the beds. I'm creating. Like it was legit. This is what I'm doing. And Home Alone 1, like if my parents leave me, like I'm not grocery shopping and running around the neighborhood by myself. Like I'm at the house trying to figure out who the hell's coming to save me.
What I liked about that is just his ability
Grandma,
to put,
are you home?
Like to put, Michael Jordan up on, on a train and have it moving around, right? I thought that was pretty genius of him. I like that. I love the fact that, Buzz, your girlfriend, Wolf. The tarantula. I mean, I like Home. Maybe I'm in the minority. I like Home Alone more than I like Home Alone 2. That's just me. And do I think it's the best? I would probably take Christmas Story over all of them.
Home Alone has a better, even though his parents left him and went to a whole nother country, it can't be too much of a better message, but that was a neglectful message. But the message is better. You got the old man.
You also have John Candy involved in it, so
100%.
that helps.
Polka, the polka.
I love when he says, well, you brought it up,
Hey,
Okay, let's get to some super chats. Kool-Aid real quick with the 4 minutes we have remaining in the Braylon Edwards
Four
show.
Christmases definitely could have won this bracket, though.
You've seen 4 Christmases.
More than 4 times, yes.
It is. I think it's a really good movie.
Recent events and then the parents.
Yeah, I think it's a really underrated, can't say the Buzz and all that other stuff. Have you seen it, Cam? Have you seen 4 Christmases?
I like to know where you got an Xbox for $20. Or is it 5?
Tim McGraw's pretty. My
he's good.
Present from Santa better be straight up cool.
Tim McGraw plays a great terrible person.
Yeah.
Like a kind of like, cause what was it, Friday Night Lights? Mm-hmm. Like a drunkard.
Mm-hmm.
He plays a good drunkard.
Yeah, he does.
I don't know if it's close to home or not.
A flashlight. My dad got me a flashlight. All right, go ahead, Kool-Aid.
Yes, sir. We do got a mailbag question here from Randall Smalls.
Is it from Santa? I know him.
How can you actually like Rocky IV over Home Alone? Go ahead.
It's my favorite movie of all time. So, it supersedes the season.
Hey, shout out to
Planes,
Elf.
Trains, and Automobiles. Good one from Groman 237.
Steve Martin.
That's a really
John
good one.
Candy.
I'm sorry, but I thought that was, that's a good one. Go ahead.
Randall
Thanks-
Smalls,
thanks,
yes.
Jim.
Looking back,
That's what I thought it was.
should Dan have replaced Morton instead of taking over?
Yeah, but it's too. Who you can't replace a coordinator during the year and bring in somebody. It's not like a player at the trade.
It would have to
deadline.
be from within.
Like one.
Yeah.
And this what got you to the situation first, trying to go from within.
That's what just happened with the Jets. Aaron Glenn got rid of his defensive coordinator and had to promote from within. So I don't know how much it would have changed.
What I would prefer is this offseason when you're looking at this, like take your time and vet this position seriously. Like make sure you're bringing in the guy that's gonna you need somebody that's really good because you got some great weapons. You got a quarterback that knows how to get the ball to those weapons. Take advantage of that. Like a lot of, you don't get offenses like this to pucks around with, to mess up, to we can just hire this guy or this is gonna fit. Take note from Ann Arbor. You can't just hire a guy and just roll with it.
Oh, I would love a quiet moment with Dan Campbell and wonder if calling plays and being head coach at the same time has been too much for him. Because I think it feels, this is just a feel for me, it doesn't mean I'm right, feels like it is. Okay, another one, go ahead.
He's still a new coach, and I think this is that we have to give him grace in that position. He had put himself in his position, but he's still a new coach. Like he's only been a head coach 5 years. So now to go from, I'm a head man, I'm figuring out this space, and now I'm figuring out this team. This is the first time I've had a team like this where a lot more is on me to then have to fire the offensive coordinator and now take on offensive duties as well as the head coach. He's still learning how to be a head coach. So it definitely had to weigh on him a lot this season.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we got a couple super chats that
go
came
ahead.
in here.
Fire 'em off.
Dante151, who has the number one crown of the day. 499 says, I just realized that Goff could hit 40 touchdown passes with 3 games left, and the Lions are only 1 game above 500.
Right. If they lose to Minnesota on Thursday, on Christmas Day, they'll be tied for the bottom of the division, tied at 500. And I doubt they're winning in Chicago. Good point by Dante. Go ahead.
Yep, and Freddie fell through on 199 super chat for the last super chat of the day says,
John's?
Where the F is Friday after next?
Where the what?
But that's
Friday
what I told you I
after
didn't
next?
make it. Friday after next, man. That's a black classic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't going to be on that list, man. But that's,
Well, wait a minute. Bad Santa? Isn't Bad Santa?
it has a black person in it.
It was crazy. I was thinking the same thing.
Well, two.
Right?
Well, actually, you know what? I take it back. It had a black person. Hold on. It had a black person and a half. Because it was a little person, and it was Bernie Mac. So she was. So it was a person and a half. So that's a Christmas movie.
That was
It's so
fast.
good.
I like it.
That is so good. We are going to miss you the next. That's a good one to go out on. We're going to miss you the next couple of days, man. All the best to your family.
Same to you.
Okay, and Merry Christmas to you. You've been awesome with us as always. We appreciate everything that you do for this show, and we will do everything we can to uphold your name on the show tomorrow, 2 o'clock. Braylon Edwards Show. Have a great day, everybody.
Hey, everybody out there, do me one favor.
What's that?
Don't spend the next 2 weeks worrying about the mathematical equation of how the Detroit Lions get into the playoffs. Just legitimately enjoy your time.
simple.
Yeah,
enjoy
enjoy
your
the
time with
holidays.
family.
It's actually pretty simple.
That's what I'm saying. So enjoy your time with family, relax, and let whatever course takes its course. If they make it in, we'll come back and have a different conversation.
All right, peace.
Let's rock.
Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep,
Do you believe this comeback?
your favorite sports commentator, as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.